gonna fly, you already know.
All right, let's talk about it. So, I already complained about Andy Dalton. 3 of 6, 20 yards, 3.3 yard average, 50% completion, 57.6 QBR. I've seen all I needed to see from him because the whole point of bringing in a veteran, in my opinion, he's supposed to be able to manipulate the defense. That's preseason and you're going against backups and rookies and stuff like that. And he was pretty much stifled. Same with Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee came in, completed 6 of 10, 60%, 35 yards, 3.5 yard average. Took a sack, 66.7 QBR. That's not good. Not at all. Especially at this point in his career. I remember last year, everybody calling for the benching of Jalen Hurts to put in Tanner McKee.
Are you sure about that?
Because Tanner McKee, like I said before, if he was that good, somebody would have sent the house over for him to Howie Roseman and he would have took it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like the team likes him and he's a competent backup, but that's just it. He still has a lot to learn, still has a lot to get better. And in my opinion, the Eagles might need to bring in some competition in that QB room right now or just trade for somebody altogether because I'm not seeing anything right now. Cole Payton came in. He completed 4 of 9 passes and he was able to just, bring some energy to the offense. Completed 44.4% of his passes, 37 yards, 4.1 yard average. But his legs were the true factor in the game because out of 3 rush attempts, he got 45 yards, more yards than the other quarterbacks threw for. And he was also able to get a touchdown, bringing his QBR to 93.3. A lot of fans didn't like how he was scrambling all over the place because that's not sustainable. But a lot of people forget that the running game from the quarterback is also a big part of the Eagles offense to open up the rush lanes because the Eagles totaled 159 yards of offense with 83 passing yards. That's not good at all. And they were only able to get the rushing yards they got because the rookie came in and got 45 yards on the ground on 3 attempts. So they have to do a lot better right now because even though it's preseason, it's still how the things look. Like I said before, being able to just muster up some yards like that and not moving the ball, not able to get in the red zone, not able to get in the end zone all the way to the fourth quarter, that's not a good showing. The other team, they were in training camp as well. They've been off this season as well. They have rookies as well. They have backups playing, third stringers as well. So there's no reason for them to look that much better than the Eagles. And Darius Cooper came in, was targeted 5 times, only had 2 receptions for 21 yards. I don't really blame him for that because Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee were not really on the money. The lone touchdown for the Eagles came from a guy that just came over from the spring league, Eric Ezukanma. I mean, that was the backups of the backups right there. So a lot has to get better going into the next preseason game. I know that's not the kind of showing they wanted to do, but there was a lot of positives, but there were more negatives than positives, in my opinion. Grant Calcaterra, Brian Covey, Hollywood Brown, the instances they were in the game, they were supposed to dominate more than they did, in my opinion. Those guys are veterans. They've been around the team, especially Calcaterra and Covey, and they weren't able to provide that relief for Tanner McKee at all. So he didn't get a chance to look any better playing with guys that he's been on the team with. So a lot has to change. They have to clean up the penalties because 10 penalties for 96 yards for the Eagles, but only 3 for 25 yards for the Ravens. So you're beating yourself when you do stuff like that because you're putting yourself in a position that doesn't even make any sense because you're just having all these penalties. They started the game with a penalty and they got another one on the same drive. So that was 2 on the first drive of the game. Time of possession, 18 minutes and 43 seconds for the Eagles. What are you going to do with that? You have 41 minutes and 17 seconds for the Ravens. I mean, that explains itself right there because when you have that many opportunities with the ball, you're going to do a lot more with it. And that's what they were able to do because the Eagles weren't even able to convert first downs. And that was the problem. They only had 6 first downs all game. 6 first downs all game compared to the Ravens 31 first downs. So, I mean, they're all coming from training camp. Everybody had the same off season. So they have to do a lot better than going through 4 quarters of a football game and only being able to get 6 first downs. That's embarrassing and that's pathetic. 0 of 9 on third down conversions for the Eagles. 0 of 9 compared to the Ravens 5 of 11. So just things like that, all that played a factor in the game because you have the Eagles coming up with 2 takeaways and the Ravens, they didn't have any takeaways and it didn't matter because the Eagles were not able to capitalize and they never really looked like they were in the game. They only had 40 plays compared to the Ravens 76 plays. They took 1 sack compared to the Ravens taking 3 sacks and it still did not matter. So it's just a lot of things that the Eagles have to clean up in that regard. With 159 total yards to 440 total yards, it just shows that there's still a lot to work on. You know, they're still practicing and they're still in camp right now. And, you know, it's the preseason and those guys are the backup. But it's how things look. You have to look a lot better than that. Tanner McKee, I'm not sure what he's seeing out there. Like I said, he's been on the team for a while. He should have more of a connection with the receivers, especially when he got to play with Darius Cooper and stuff like that. But he didn't really do a great job. The bright side was the defense. Although that secondary left a lot to be desired, Ebenezer got beat on the big play that kind of opened things up for the Ravens because up until then, both teams were kind of stalemating each other. But after he got beat on that big play, it just kind of opened up for the Ravens after that. So the defense has to get a lot better in the secondary. Ringo was able to come up with an interception. A lot of people are saying that he should play safety and no longer corner. Not sure how they're going to go about that because I wasn't even sure he had hands like that, but he's never in the right position when he's playing cornerback. So we never even get a chance to see him play the ball, but we'll see what happens with that. But the line is a lot better and they have a lot of depth there. And Trotter Jr., he's showing great things. And I think he's going to get a lot of playing time this upcoming season because he just has that attitude of a linebacker. He's in there. He's not getting pushed around by anybody. He's blitzing the quarterback and beating his man. So I want to see a lot more from Trotter Jr. in the upcoming season. Hopefully he gets to play a lot more. And the O-line needs to do a lot better. That third string center, I've seen a couple content creators already highlighting his whiffs and things he was doing. So he needs to get a lot better because the line definitely didn't help anything. Even though there was only 1 sack in the game on Tanner McKee, it was still the fact that they never had any chance to throw the ball. They didn't have enough time back there. And it just seemed like the cornerbacks for the Ravens were strapping up the receivers before the quarterback even got to make his read. So it's just a lot to be changed right now as far as, you know, now they have things on tape. And that's the best part. They know what to clean up. They've been facing each other in practice and stuff like that. And it's a lot different than going against another team. Even in the preseason, you have guys going 100% because they're trying to make the team and they're playing football. Once the hits start, you know, everybody gets right into it. Nobody remembers that it's preseason anymore. They're just playing now. So there were a couple bright spots in the game. They could have done a lot better. A lot of people are disappointed, but nobody's really worried or panicking right now. But we still need to see a lot. I need to see something from Sean Mannion because I know you want to keep it vanilla in the preseason, but you have the Ravens. They have a new offensive coordinator as well, and he's getting them 440 yards in a preseason game from a couple different quarterbacks, ending up with almost 300 passing yards compared to the Eagles having 83 passing yards. So there has to be something that changes there. You still have to look a lot better than that because all eyes are always on the Eagles. And right now you have people saying that their team is going to the Super Bowl from winning the first preseason game.
Are you a Dallas Cowboys fan?
But for us right now, we know what has to happen. We know what needs to be cleaned up. Guys that never played in the NFL before made their debuts and they had decent games and a lot to build upon. Like I said, the best thing about all this now is that there is tape. People get to watch themselves on tape and see what they did wrong and what they can improve upon. The Eagles have a couple things scheduled coming up. They have 2 joint practices with the New England Patriots coming up. We already know there's going to be headlines and drama surrounding that. not going to entertain it too much. The Eagles also have an open practice coming up on the 25th. So there's a lot going on for the Birds right now before their last 2 preseason games. And we're just going to see how everything pans out before the season starts. But hopefully, like I said, they get to watch the tape and know what to clean up. Go Birds.
Them birds gonna fly, you already know.